NFL Week 6 picks with Hector V and Obi-Wan myself. We're going to supposedly automatically win these games. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that at first down, plus the standings and our predictions for Week 6. So stay tuned. And once again, welcome to the All Four Downs podcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, follow us all the way through as we get set to make our predictions. But what I thought it was automatic, Hector, was these picks that I was for sure like these guys I got to win. And what surprised me the most is these games coming up. And it always usually starts, the tempo usually starts with college football. And now here's why. Because each week something big happens, and it seems like the NFL got the ripple effects, right? The domino effects, whatever you want to call that. And this past weekend, Penn State got shut down. They got upset by UCLA, in which UCLA got their first win. I was so surprised because, well, I'll take that back. I might have been surprised for the fact that Penn State lost to UCLA. That I did not predict. However, I did predict, and I made my claim that Penn State was not a top 10 team because they could never beat Ohio State or Michigan. And yet they squeezed their way into the college football playoffs. But that's another story. You could catch that on Tuesdays on All Four Downs on the college football. But to relate to what happened that Saturday, here's Sunday's game that happened here, and we'll cover that in first down. We'll start with the Broncos and the Eagles. The Eagles were up 17-3. 17-3 going into the fourth quarter. How did Denver Broncos score 18 points and sneak out a win 21-17? Wow. That's all I got to say is wow. All right. That's a huge upset, knowing that the Eagles had this wrapped up and all they had to do was continue to run the ball, get first downs and stuff. They found ways to turn over these balls, and the Broncos took advantage of it. They were playing their A game in the last few minutes of the game, and a lot of risks that they took to take the lead, Hector.
Yeah, they sure did. And that fourth quarter alone beat the Eagles throughout the whole game. And I was like, man, that saved my whole week last week from being shut out with a donut because I just could not do nothing last week. And watching this game, man, Jesus.
Look, the Eagles are 4-1 right. Was it 4-2 right now?
4-1.
No, they're 4-1. They're 4-1. They could have been 3-2 because they should have lost to the Rams.
Yeah.
Right. But that block kick, the guy ran it back for a touchdown that ruined my parlay. Yeah. Well, let's not go there. But I can go to the next game, the Dolphins versus the Panthers. Oh my God. I mean, you're up 17-0. What? 17-0, allowing the Panthers to come back 17-10, and Miami had nothing to show for one touchdown in the fourth quarter.
What? Okay, Little John. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's right. That's right. We're in the Carolina. I'm just saying. And Carolina, watch this. The Panthers are 2-0 at home. Can you believe that?
I know.
Man. And next, the New York Giants, which they play tonight against the Philadelphia Eagles. And let's go. 14-3, you're leading the game. And guess what? You lost the game. You couldn't score in the second half? Come on. You got two donuts over there, and you lose 26-14, giving the Saints their first win of the season.
5 consecutive drives were turnovers.
It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable, and you can point fingers at the head coach. It is time for a coaching change in in the Meadowlands. Yes, go ahead, get rid of Brian Dable, and of course, he's going to beat the Packers with the general manager. It's time to turn it off, shut it down now. That's all I'm saying. And if it's and I'm telling you what, if the Giants get shut out today against the Eagles, which I'm predicting that might happen, you might as well just cancel Dable and use this week, an extended week, okay, to get ready for the next weeks of games with another coach. I'm sorry, okay. And then the other one is the Cardinals. The Cardinals. Are you kidding me? Winning 21-6. Another one. Fourth quarter. The Titans scored 16 points. 16 unanswered points to win 22-21 to get their first win. So like college football, where UCLA getting their first win, we got the Saints and the Titans getting their first win. That's a problem. And the worst part about it is not scoring a touchdown because you decided to drop the ball before you cross the line.
That right there should be a fine. That is fundamentals.
The head coach got a fine, bro. The head coach got a fine for pushing.
The player should get a fine for doing stupid stuff like that. That is just fundamental football. You hold the ball till you get into the end zone. Go all the way to the goalpost for all I care.
Isn't that the game of football?
That is just stupid. I mean, why do these young kids gotta think they got a showboat and let the ball go and not know where they're at? That is just ridiculous.
It is.
That is ridiculous. It costs them the game.
The game.
I mean, it's just ridiculous.
The game. And you know what? I look at the body language of Kyler Murray and I said to myself, how are you a leader? How do you leave by sitting on a bench and just mope? How do you do that? Now, I get it. You're 2-3. The Cardinals should not be 2-3 right now. Absolutely not. 3 losses by just dumb stuff, which the Cardinals and the Ravens kind of relate to each other. Just saying. And watch this. The Cardinals did not score in the second half. The Giants didn't score in the second half. There's a lot of donuts in there. Why?
Can we figure out who's the worst team in the NFL? It is so hard to figure out who's the worst team in the NFL right now. Seriously. I mean, we cannot sit here and really figure out who's the worst team in the NFL. I mean, some could say it's the Dolphins, some could say it's the Giants, some could say, I mean,
nobody could top the Giants right now. Come on.
Well, the Cardinals sure showed that last week against the Titans.
Listen, by the ass whooping that's going on, the Tennessee Titans is the worst team. But if you're looking at the points allowed and stuff like that, I'm looking at. Don't
forget the Jets who are 0-5.
Yeah, but the Jets, yeah, they gave up 157 points, right? They got a differential of -45, but then you got the Browns, a differential of 50 points. The Titans, 68 points. The Raiders, I think the Raiders are the worst team. Okay.
And yet
at least the other team scored touchdowns. I guess between the Raiders and the Titans, they're on the low ground. The Giants barely got more points than them. I want to tell you who's the best last place team. Is that allowed? Is there
even a such thing as a best last place team?
The New York Jets, 0-5.
Oh, Lord.
They got more points scored than any other last place teams out there.
But yet cannot finish to win.
Exactly. Let's go ahead and move on to second down because we're looking at the standings now. You're talking about last place stuff. Yeah, the donut goes to the Jets, 0-5. You would think with the new head coach and a defensive minded that what it is, it's not really working. And the Bills are running away. But the Patriots did beat the Bills. Surprisingly, I think now we have a competition between the Bills and the Patriots. So the Bills ain't running away anytime soon. Like I think we can see the new version of the New England Patriots on this one.
Mm. Give me 5 more weeks, and I say they're going to start running it away with it.
All right. The AFC North, the Steelers are leading the way 3-1. The Bengals, they got a new quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. They go ahead and made that trade for Joe Flacco. He is the new version of Vinny Testaverde. So those of you that don't know who Vinny Testaverde is, you need a quarterback, go call him.
No,
He'll come out of retirement every time just to have one good season with y'all. But the Ravens and the Browns, look, got it that the Browns are 1-4, but I'm just surprised that the Ravens themselves, usually they got a good secondary. I mean, and I'm not saying defensively, but good backups.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like things are going so sour there with the Ravens. 1-4, never expected it.
No, that was the biggest surprise right there. This division is just in the shambles,
which benefits the Steelers, but won't help them in the playoffs. Just saying. AFC South, it just got to be real with this competition. I guess I have to say, wow, the AFC South just elevated to be a competitor here because the Colts and the Jaguars 4-1. Now, the Jacksonville Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence really, really got lucky against the Chiefs. I mean, how many quarterbacks do you see trip over the offensive lineman, fall down, end up getting up, dodging a tackle, and making in the end zone? And like it was the dying move or something like that. I mean, that's just pure luck. You just don't. It's just anybody else. I think they just fall flat and take the lost yardage, but not Trevor Lawrence. He fought all the way through. And will that carry them to this week? Will they get a victory? Stay tuned on that for our prediction. I'm just surprised that the Houston Texans are 2-3.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising, but I think that they more than any other team can turn this around and make this a competition.
Yes,
I think they can.
I think it's gonna go down to wire. Maybe first time in a long time. I'm gonna have to do my research to see if we get at least two AFC South teams in the playoffs. I'm gonna have to research that. And the AFC West, the Los Angeles Chargers are tied with the Broncos 3-2. The Chiefs are 2-3, which could have been less than that, but the Raiders are so lost with Pete Carroll. They thought Pete Carroll and Bill Belichick both are like similarities. Oh, I want to go back to coaching. Well, there goes your resume, buddy. Just saying. Should have stayed retired, stay at the sideline, go to an office job or something, because it just seems like you cannot catch up with the world is changing right now. This is a new culture in football, and you're out of date. That's all I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on to the NFC. The North, the Detroit Lions 4-1. Green Bay 2-1. Minnesota 3-2. The Bears had a bye week. Do you think that the NFC North is the place to be?
I think
hardest division in the NFL.
No, I don't think it's the hardest division. I think right now it's kind of the tight race, but it was like that last year. And then we just seen two teams run away with the whole thing between the Lions and the Vikings. We're going to start seeing some separation eventually by midseason. The Bears will start falling apart. And I think either Minnesota or Green Bay will start falling apart. One of those two are going to fall apart. It's going to be a two-team race all over again.
I think the Lions and the Packers are going to finish, and that tiebreaker is going to be a huge difference when it comes to the Week 18 here. The NFC South, the Bucs running away 4-1, man.
Look, I mean, the Buccaneers got the better quarterback in that whole division. I mean, they may have some injuries, but you can't tell that the Buccaneers have injuries the way they're playing football right now. And with Baker Mayfield being a more stable quarterback and the better quarterback in that division than what the other three teams got going on, this should not be a competition. This is a one-team race I see right now.
All right, the NFC West, the 49ers are leading the way 4-1. Even with Purdy, Brock Purdy not playing, I guess Mac Jones is the real deal, man, because it didn't shine with the Patriots, but now he's with the 49ers and he's doing well for the two games he started. And on top of that, him and Daniel Jones kind of relate with each other, man. They go to a different team and they're shining.
Yeah.
The Seahawks, many don't believe that the Seahawks have an identity. And the Rams, they just shoot themselves in the foot. They could have been just as equal as the 49ers. And we just discussed about the Cardinals, how they flopped, how they just they just they're blowing it every game, bro.
Yeah, the Cardinals are going to stay right where they're at. You can bet on that right now. They're not coming out of that division. They're not coming out of that cellar.
Now, the one thing that I did not post was the NFC East. The Eagles are 4-1. The Commanders are 3-2. The Cowboys 2-2, and the Giants are 1-4. Both the Eagles and the Giants are playing on a Thursday night football, which is gonna start momentarily.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't foresee. I'm gonna stick with my pick. I did pick the Washington Commanders to win the NFC East. I still think that they can do that. Um, and I think everybody sees the flaws of the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are not the same team as last year. They're not as dominant, and I feel strong for my pick that the Commanders will win.
I see what you're saying. I can agree with that because I mean, last week I did pick the Broncos to upset the Eagles because I did say on the podcast that the Eagles are a one half team. They can't play 4 quarters. They play one half, and they showed that last week. They only played the first half. After halftime, they didn't show up. They proved my point, and the Broncos came up and played in the second half and just dominated that game. The Eagles are not going to win another Super Bowl playing that way. They got to play 4 quarters.
Absolutely, absolutely. Let's go ahead and move on to third down, and let's see if they could play all 4 downs over there. The Eagles visit Giants at MetLife Stadium. That's on Prime Video. That starts in a couple of minutes. I'm picking the Eagles to defeat the Giants. I know the spread at 7.5, but I just don't think that the Brian Dable has any type of formula to beat the Eagles. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. Turnovers, and it's a short week, so anything can happen. But the Giants just doesn't have what it takes to stop the run. Let alone they always find themselves turning over the ball. The Broncos and the Jets is my favorite. I still believe that this game, being that they're overseas, that it's going to be a low scoring game in the first half, but I'll pick it up in the second half. But I do see the Broncos taking and winning big against the Jets. The Patriots and the Saints. Look, the Saints, they're not going to be marching past the Patriots, man. And I feel like this is like the Civil War game, and the North is going to win, and New England is going to take this in a big way. The Cowboys, they're going to run away, dude. The Cowboys always do good against teams that are non-contenders, and I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, the Panthers are home 2-0, but let's relax because the Cowboys, they're playing some meaningful games here. They're going to win this game. So I got like 4 road teams already picking, and I I want to say I'm safe, but after last week, I don't even know. The Rams over the Ravens. I don't know what's up with the Ravens. Somebody please help me understand why the Ravens are choking. The Rams are in a similar situation, but if the Rams don't win, I might as well start counting them out. And lastly, Hector and I shared this: the 49ers versus the Buccaneers. 49ers are always prepared. They're 3-0 on the road, visiting the hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers from the way they played last Sunday. But it's just something about the 49ers that the way they package those teams up, I guess it doesn't matter if you're a starter or not. You're always prepared. The
Yeah.
49ers should win big here. But however, Hector, you picked the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, I like the Buccaneers in this game. You know, I just think it's just that their offense right now is just clicking on all cylinders, and with Baker Mayfield just finding his open receivers and stuff like that, they got the 5th best passing offense in the league. I think they can try to torch that 49ers defense. So it should be an interesting game, a good game. I'm looking forward to it. I want to be watching it, but I got the Buccaneers squeaking this one out.
All right, we were playing a little game right here before the show, and I think I'm just going to introduce this game that we've been playing and guessing our how you say, other co-host picks. So um, I went 3 for 2, and then I fixed the 2 that I got wrong, and I got 100%. So Hector, go. Let's start with the Seahawks and the Jaguars.
Look, I got the Seahawks winning this game. Since last year, the Seahawks has just been the dominant road warriors. They're 9-1. They won 8 in a row on the road. They own us. They seem to own the Jaguars head to head in this series. They're 3-2 in Jacksonville all time. I'd like the Seahawks going into Jacksonville winning this game. It's just another game for the Jaguars against an NFC West opponent. They did what they had to do against the 49ers. I don't see them doing it against the Seahawks. So yeah, give me them Seahawks, baby.
All right, the Bengals went ahead and made a trade to get Joe Flacco. No word if he's actually going to start this weekend, but the Bengals do go on the road against the Packers.
Yeah, I think he is going to start in this. I don't know if there's been any time in history where one quarterback has beaten one team twice with two different teams in a season. I don't ever think that's ever happened, but it is possible that he could do it. But the Bengals defense is not going to suffocate the Packers like the Browns did, and to give Flacco enough time to do what he has to do. The Packers are at home. They're going to win this game, and they're going to finally beat Flacco.
Well, let me ask you this: if Flacco does beat the Packers, two different teams in the same season, right?
Put him in the Hall of Fame,
and he is a Super Bowl champion.
Yeah,
that was my question. Should he be in the Hall of Fame?
Put him in the Hall of Fame because
put him in the Hall of Fame.
I don't think it's ever been done before. I never heard of anything like that to be done. Seriously.
Oh.
If anybody's heard about that, please let me know because I've never heard of a player being traded and then a few weeks later playing the same team.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah, that's good stuff right there. But talk about Hall of Fame, our future Hall of Famer, the head coach of the Chiefs, Andy Reid, is going to be having his team prepared as they host the Lions. Why you picking the Chiefs over the Lions, man?
Look, I know it's kind of iffy here, but look, Kansas City is starting to click. Okay, their defense, they got some stuff to fix up, but their offense is clicking right now, and they're putting some points on the board here. If Steve Spagnuolo can get his group tightened up here, I think the Lions are going to be in for a long night here against Kansas City at Arrowhead. So yeah, I'm taking Kansas City over Detroit here.
I'll be careful with that pick, but if you feel confident about them, all right, okay. All right, moving on to 2 Monday night games. Start with the first one, the Bills and the Falcons.
Yeah, I think it was an upset, shocker for Buffalo maybe, but it might have been those uniforms that they were wearing. But they're going into the Dome against Atlanta. I don't see Michael Penix Jr. doing anything to help Atlanta take down this Buffalo's high-powered offensive team. So I got Buffalo winning this game pretty convincingly.
All right, the Bears are coming off the bye week. They're on the road against the Commanders. Yeah,
they're coming off this bye week. They should be pretty rested up, but I like Jaden Daniels. I like the Commanders in this game. I was wrong about them last week when I picked the Chargers against them. So I like the Commanders to win this game. I can't trust Caleb Williams. No, sorry.
It's all good. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, they look hot. They just don't know how to finish.
No, I know.
But we're about to finish because we're definitely not playing all 4 downs on this one. But this 4th down is a little bit out of the ordinary, and we're focused on the Super Bowl halftime show. And I'm a little bit bothered by this because the fact that why is politics getting involved in business in sports entertainment? And I get it. And when they start organizing to pick people to host the shows, right? You would think it's just the music and everything else. And Kendrick Lamar did it last year. And it was political, but it wasn't that big because politics didn't put a priority to that. And I feel a little bit like that is a little biased because when it comes to Hispanics, why are you pointing fingers at the Hispanics? And this is my vision. Politics outside of sports, we're dealing with immigration. With every time a Hispanic is trying to lead, there's always fingers pointing and stuff like that. Things that happen in Puerto Rico and outside these countries and stuff is like you're bashing the Hispanics, and I'm not liking it. I'm not. All right. And me being a Puerto Rican, Hector, you're Puerto Rican. We both serve our country honorably, and this country is supposed to be united, not divided. And when you got politics like this person here, Majority Taylor Greene, who's demand that law be passed before Bad Bunny's concert to prioritize only English. And it's not only her, it's that many people, even celebrities like Kid Rock and stuff like that. Why is an American not performing in a Super Bowl halftime show? The last time I checked, Puerto Ricans are Americans. And this dumbfounded how people are talking smack and just trying to bully themselves on TV, especially on Fox. Because I'm targeting you guys because it's known, it's official. And you guys are hosting shows and you're bad mouthing, and yet when Jimmy Kimmel on the ABC show got suspended for something that he spoke the truth, that he had facts about, and yet you try to silence them to violate the First Amendment. But it's okay for you to do it. But everybody else, oh, no, we're offending you. Oh, this and that. And I'm just sick and tired of the far left, of the far right, the far up, down, east, west, south. What happened to being united? And I feel like that right there, 9/11 was probably the last time that I ever felt that we were united. Last time. And so here we are, knowing that for many years we had dealt with racism, sexism, religious beliefs, and all this and that. Demanding a new law to be passed before Bad Bunny is performing on the Super Bowl show. Really? Is that all you got? Is that what you concentrating on? You have a government shutdown. How about you concentrate on that piece right there? But shortly after Bad Bunny was announced that 2026 Super Bowl halftime, headline like Trump advisors, Corey, was it Lou Donowski? Which, by the way, does that sound American to you? You want me to talk that way? Really? Okay. Said that U.S. Immigration and Custom ICE agents will be present at the sporting event. Okay, hold on for a second. Do you guys know how much the tickets cost to go to the Super Bowl? Who you arresting? I'm just saying. Here's another one. There is nowhere you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally. Not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you and apprehend you and put you in a detention facility and deport you. Wow. That's what you got? Is that what you're saying right now? Really? Is that professional? Is that, I mean, it sounds like this is like back in the days, like, you know, the what's that called? The Western movies and stuff like that. Man, when are we going to get our head out of our asses and start thinking like professionals and being responsible leaders? Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says she echoed the sentiment days later in an interview with Johnson, saying, "We'll be all over that place. We are going to enforce the law. So I think people should not be coming to the Super Bowl unless they're law-abiding Americans who love this country." Seriously. Who doesn't love the United States of America? Only our enemies don't like us. We're living in this country. What is going on with our leaders? Why did we choose them to lead this country if they cannot be united or make this country safer? But hey, Bad Bunny mocks all the critics. And he said everyone has 4 months to learn Spanish. Man, I laughed. And I get it. Everybody could, I have to respect everybody's beliefs. But when you were in a world like we are today, we don't got time to be divided. We need each other. We need to survive together. We are one. Whatever happened to being one? Now, you don't got to answer that question. You don't got to answer it. But I'm just saying, or when are we going to stop hating and start protecting? Yeah, I get it. Immigration law, it exists. I get it. I understand it. But let's not, let us be real. We always had an immigration issue since day one. Since we entered this land, we all are immigrants. So let's not fake the funk here. Let's be smart about it. Oh, by the way, that's the Secretary of Defense lady right there. Yeah. The United States is the name of our country, and its meaning comes from how it was formed. United means joined together. The country is made up of different states that decided to come together as one nation. States are the individual regions like Connecticut, New York, or California. Each state has its own government, but it's also part of a larger national government. So, United States means a group of states that are joined together under one federal government. And if that's not all, the Super Bowl halftime show is very diverse. You got Usher, J-Lo and Shakira, Rihanna, last year's rap artist Kendrick Lamar. We also had who's the one in the middle right there? Lady Gaga.
Lady Gaga.
Right? I mean, then you go back even way back, like Michael Jackson, Bruno Mars, all these people.
50
right?
Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre.
Yeah. Look, if somebody was to argue like Mike Wahlberg did when he said, "What about country music?" He got a valid point. Yeah, let's put some country music in there. But the thing is, Bad Bunny is the hottest person right now in entertainment. I mean, he's at WWE. He got concerts there. They got people flying to Puerto Rico just to see him. And then his concert, when he streamed, over 80 million people were watching it. So he's the hottest ticket right now.
I can, as a Christian, I can even go as far as, how are we united if we never had a Super Bowl halftime show that had a Christian artist perform Christian music? We can't do that. We can't have a Christian artist sing about God, because we never did. And they're worrying about this right here. I mean, it's just, we're not united. We've never been united. We've come to this country and it's just gone awry really fast. We're worrying about the wrong things. We're worrying about the wrong people. We're deporting people that are making this country better for us, economically, so to speak, and yet you're overlooking the people who are blowing up buildings and taking innocent lives, all in the name of some other God. I don't get it. You're worrying about the wrong things, and yet you think you're doing the right thing. And then you put us American soldiers at bay to go do what you should be doing. You're putting us in harm's way because of your stupidity. We've seen it. Deployments that we've gone on because the suits behind the desk and the laptop say, "Oh, we need to send them." Did you really need to send us? Because you cannot seem to get your act right. It's just, you're right. It's ridiculous. We're not a United States of America. And all these other countries see that, and that's our weakness right now. That's our kryptonite, that we cannot stand united at the forefront, in the home front. And it's just ridiculous.
Look, we could go on and on and push this into a political segment here.
Yeah.
But how many of those politicians ever served their country?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, did you wear the uniform? I respect those that wear the uniform. And no, I'm not talking about the individual that only served 4 years or less, thinking that they did a lot because you didn't do much for 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But bottom line is, it's a Super Bowl. It's entertainment for a huge audience, showcasing music and culture, advertising and promotion, and creating a shared experience. And it's all right. It's okay to have an opinion. It's okay. But when your opinion is based on race, we have a problem. And you
Yeah.
politicians you're not following what our founding fathers wanted for our country. And it's written in black and white. And that's all I have for now on the All Four Downs podcast. I appreciate y'all listening. And until next time, next week, let's see how we do on our picks. Who you got winning? Who you agree or disagree with myself or Hack the V? I'm Obi-Wan. Thank you for watching. Take care. Let's enjoy some football.